But I want to shift over to my conversation with Jack Gamble and Palantir and Nvidia, because to me, I think this is one of the most important stories of the week, and we'll see where it goes. But the fact that Michael Burry, who had not posted in a long time, comes out with a tweet, and I apologize, I don't have him pulled up here, but he wrote. Sometimes it's better. Sometimes we see bubbles. Sometimes there's something to do about it. Sometimes the only winning move is not to play. But what I think is funny, he takes a picture of Christian Bale playing him from The Big Short as Christian Bale at the beginning of the movie is looking at the computer monitor and realizing all these mortgages, what junk they are. And from there decides to short the housing market.
People, people like gamble and they can dig into like where people are invested. Michael Burry has put 80% of his money, which is like, we're talking $1 billion as a private investor. He's put approximately three quarters of that, or $800 million worth of it, in put options. So it's not just selling short, it's selling short gambling at a higher risk factor, right? Puts and options, multiples. So the pro Palantir side can say, oh, he's trying to move the market with like a hysteria, and when he fails, I'm going to stomp on his grave because he's such an anti-American.
And we're doing great things. We're doing great things here.
Oh yeah, and I love that guy on MSNBC. He said,
Alex Karp.
Right now, Palantir is like printing money, meaning like unbelievable profits, like profits nobody can explain. It's like, I love the Jack Gamble lemonade stand analogy. I tried to remember that on Alex Jones today. I was on the fourth hour of Alex Jones, but yeah, that there's really no income. It's all fake. It's like dad's buying 19 of your lemonade stand cups so you can put down that I just sold 20 today. Yeah, dad bought them, right? Then you're going to the bank and saying, look at my profits, loan me money so I can buy more lemonade. It's like,
and then the uncle comes in and buys 20 more. So now
right,
sold 40.
like options to buy. And the next day he exercises them. Oh, we have 80. We sold 80 yesterday. No, you only sold one. You're selling to yourself. I forget what Jack Gamble calls it, like circular accounting, round robin accounting.
Round tripping.
Round tripping. Right, round tripping. So I love that. What's it called? Just an ordinary guy. What's it called?
Nobody's Special Finance on YouTube.
Nobody's Special Finance. Jack Gamble.
Well,
that was awesome. And when I posted that this morning, I couldn't believe all the people are like, "You follow him too? I never heard of him before your show." I'm going back to one of the best things about this, free ranch podcasting space. I follow people. It's like everybody's like, "You don't already follow him?" All the time. I'm like, this guy's got, all these podcasts and I've never heard of him. And everybody's like, you haven't heard of him? So that's one of the best things about this space. I'm constantly going on to X and then writing into the search box and then following people constantly.
Well, and what about, though, also with that is the fact that NVIDIA was part of it, too, of the two companies that Michael Burry shorted. And then did you see Michael Burry's other posts? One about referencing
NVIDIA and Palantir.
Well, but did you see at the end of his post? And you know me, I'm a big 80s 90s movies guy. But the last line of that original post 6 days ago. So sometimes we see bubbles. Sometimes there's something to do about it. And then the last line is sometimes the only winning move is not to play. Do you know what movie that's from?
It's like War Games or something.
Yeah, because remember the computer realized by the end.
Sure, it's a something syndrome or something paradox. There's a name for that. The something move, meaning there's a gosh, I'm so bad on my rhetoric, but there's a term meaning like the such and such paradox. The executioner or the prisoner's dilemma. That's it. The prisoner's dilemma. and it's like this old philosophical thing about what would you do in this circumstance, and the end result is the only result is don't play, because in the prisoner's dilemma it's like lose lose, don't get there. So one way of looking at it is that Burry is trying to send out a warning to all the normies. That's like, one way of looking at it. Um, what's his face's Alex Karp, Karp, like KRAP in Cincinnati. So Karp, like carp spelled like crap with a anyway. So Alex Karp is like, he's trying to talk down the greatest thing. AI is going to save America. AI is like, the next locomotive driving our whole industry forward. And and he's making this big bet just so he can drive down the price and then cash out on it. But when you short, you risk everything. There's no limit on shorting. If you're on the long side of a investment, at any time you can get out with a 10% loss. Or if you invest 80% of everything, which is most of your $1 billion, on the short side of something, you can be destroyed. Okay. And it's not just shorting, it's puts. So it's options that are multiplied. If Palantir continues to go to the moon, and Burry can't ride it to the moon, he'll be destroyed. At some point, his risk and his loss is going to be so enormous, he'll have to like kill himself, or flee to another country with plastic surgery. So he's basically put a bet on that. He's come into the casino and put a bet on the table that is so huge. Normies don't get this, and I barely get it, and I'm probably botching half of this. But he's putting a bet on the table so big that even normies have to pay attention. It's his way of saying 2008, great financial crisis, even worse.
Well, and when you start looking at this, first of all, I recommend to people that haven't seen that movie, The Big Short. It's a fantastic film. Like,
look, and if you can say this, there's a Dallas Cowboys second round draft pick that killed himself, 24 years old, got in a car chase. Marshawn something, Marshawn Nealand. It's like, why do that? You got the whole future in front of you, right? You're a Michael Burry. You've been through everything for 30, 40 years.
Made enough money.
You have 10 million in Uruguay and 10 million in Argentina. You've got the property next to Doug Casey and Matt Smith and Bill Holter. You know what I mean?
Doesn't matter.
You got a jet that's just going to take you there.
Right.
So no matter what happens with your Big Short on Palantir and NVIDIA, even if it all goes wiped out, you'll be down there with a ranch. Okay. People will say, oh, you tried to wreck a great company and it didn't work and now you're fleeing. So what? But so it's not like he's going to be sleeping on a park bench ever. But what he did was he walked into the casino where everybody's playing craps, Alex Karp. So everybody's playing craps on the big crap table. And he just walked in, and whatever the guy that's throwing the dice said, he just put like 10 times more than that on, I bet against him. It's like, wow. He must know something about those dice.
You know what I look at it as, though? Like, there was a guy that used to go to Las Vegas. He's probably not even alive anymore. He was an Australian billionaire that small casinos would not allow in because he would literally try to play all the spots on blackjack, but he would put minimum, like, 100,000 per hand, 5 hands at once, or 7 hands at once, or whatever.
I love all those blackjack movies.
But to me, what Burry is doing there, I feel like he's coming into a small casino because these guys are all making a ton of money. They're becoming billionaires, and he's saying, "All right, I'm taking you on." Like,
it's the greater right, but they're saying
breaking the house.
They're all going to the moon on the greater fool theory, right? And I recommend that everybody watch the Coffee and a Mic with Jack Gamble, the whole thing, because the clip, the like 13-minute clip, is excellent. The lemonade stand analogy, they're not really making any money. They're faking profits by selling shit back and forth to each other, right? I'll set up a company to make AI power plants, and you'll set up a company, and we're taking the same Monet painting. Okay, I just bought it for $1 million. I sold it to you for $2 million. You sold it to my friend for $4 million. He sold it back to me. I'm leasing an option on it. It's all crap. It's financialization. There's no railroad behind it. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, they're building data centers. Ooh, cue the orchestral, angelic music. Data centers. Ooh, there's our salvation. We're going to have AI. AI is going to take us to Mars. AI is going to be our salvation. It's like, why do you think Bill Gates just turned away from climate change? We need to use less energy to climate change. Forget that. AI is our salvation. We got to build more data centers that require 5 times more power production. It's like, come on, folks. We're the rubes. We're the gulls. We're the morons in the audience going, okay, yeah, it's the next big thing. What's that FOMO? What's that FOMO stand for?
Fear of missing out. Fear of missing out.
Fear of missing out. Oh my God, Palantir. Have you seen? I have intelligent family members that were talking to me about Enron. They were saying, Matt, you got to buy Enron. Enron is like straight to the moon, this energy company. Energy. Ooh, remember? So now AI is like, we need more energy. It's going to energize. And Enron was like, this company has figured out all about energy. Matt, you have to buy Enron. And we know how that ended.
Well, and how much are people's pensions and retirements tied into Nvidia? And here was the other thing.
Because the pension fund managers have to find a way to make percentages. And so you've got to jump on the next, parabolic rocket. You have to, just to stay even. So when the parabolic rocket turns the other way, all of these pension funds are going to be wiped out. And the whole thing, I got to go in a minute, but the whole thing.
You got to go? We're done? We're wrapping up already?
Go. Yeah, I got to wrap it up. But the whole thing with, just stay on the rocket every time, it always ends in disaster. All right. And all these smart people are talking about, well, they're going to revalue gold. They're going to do some trickery, ledger domain, and they're going to say now gold is 50,000 an ounce, and so our debt is wiped out. It's like, in what real world does that work? Okay, on paper, that's what the Weimar Republic did. They hyperinflated so that they could pay off their reparations to the Allies in hyperinflated Reichmarks, right? But what did it do to Germany? It destroyed Germany. So the idea that we're going to save the economy by revaluing gold, and there goes our debt is gone by magic. What's that going to do to teachers' salaries when it's like worse than Russia in 1995 and you can't buy a loaf of bread with $1,000?
Do you think that's imminent? This is imminent, like this collapse, and
we're all standing. Well, look, right now we're all in this sinking ship, and all of our leaders are in a Mexican standoff. I won't blink. You won't blink. I will not be the first to back down from the government shutdown, and the ship is sinking.